Hi, my name's Emmeline and I'm 5.5 stone down on Slimming World, and I know a lot of people are really struggling at the minute. I've actually pinned a comment from my last video that I did with a few tips and things like that, so go back and watch it if you think that'd be useful to you. But I've had quite a, what I'd call maybe a reflective weekend, where I've had a lot of thoughts about my journey and how it's going, and I thought I would share a few tips with you if that's okay. My first one, and it should be quite obvious, is go to group. Go to group even if you think you've gained weight. Quite often for myself in the past, I've started a journey and then I've thought, oh, I've definitely gained this week, so I've been naughty, and so I'm not going to go to group, but I'll go next week, so I've got more time to lose a bit more weight before next week, and before I know it, we're a couple of weeks down the line, I've piled quite a lot more weight back on, and I've never gone back. And that's happened to me a few times. I've had a couple of false starts doing different weight loss journeys and things like that. So go to group. And the best thing about group is there's lots of support there. You know, there's support from your consultant, from the other members and things like that. And as we all know, nobody's going to shame you for losing weight, or hopefully you all know that. Nobody stood, like sometimes people imagine there's going to be a lady stood there saying, oh, Emmeline, you've gained £4 this week, you're a very naughty girl. That doesn't happen. And if that is happening in your group, something's horribly wrong. But yeah, that doesn't happen, so definitely go to group. The other thing is using some of the resources that you get through Slimming World. Now, I very rarely buy the magazines. However, occasionally I commit to buying one. So I did this time because I really wanted to read one of the articles that were in it, which was about like healthy inside and out. I think they would call it Feel Good Inside and Out, that was it. And it was really interesting and had some advice about looking after different parts of your body and thinking about how you're incorporating that. And there was also some stuff about good mental health in here as well. But I only ever buy a magazine if I'm actually going to read it, because otherwise it's just going to be sat next to my book and my card waiting for me to go back next week, and I'll get them out ready for weigh day and think, oh yeah, I never read that magazine. So have a look through the books and stuff while you're in group. If there's something that catches your eye, definitely buy them. But don't just buy them for no reason, because otherwise Slimming World might start to seem like it's getting expensive for stuff that you're never using. The other thing is the podcast. It's actually free on the app for all members, a weekly podcast. I'll see if I can put a little overlay on how to use it up there. It is a little bit faffy on the Slimming World app. So hey Slimming World, can you please sort that out a little bit? Mainly because if you go off the app, say for example I was at the supermarket the other day and I wanted to scan something, I then had to restart the episode and scroll along and see if I could figure out where I was. However, every other episode is also on anywhere that you could listen to podcasts, so Spotify and Apple and things like that. And it's a really good podcast, so the content of it is absolutely brilliant. It's just the facilities of it that's not the best at the minute. And they're often talking about subjects that are really relevant. So this week it's talking about getting back on plan, staying on track. The week before they were interviewing this year's Mr. Sleek, is it? And you know, it's quite a lot of fun as well. They're talking about a lot of stuff. They do what you're having for dinner and stuff like that. However, there's quite often some quite mindful topics to think about. And I know some people are like, oh, mindfulness, not for me. And I get you, I hear what you're saying, but it's not hippy dippy. It's just thinking about like what's working well for you and gives you a bit of time to reflect. One of my favourite things to do recently is take the dog out for a walk, pop my earpods in and listen to a half hour, because that's time for myself. It's thinking about my journey, but also it maybe makes me walk the dog a little bit longer because I want to finish that whole episode by the time I get back. So definitely just a thought. Having a look through TikTok, Instagram, YouTube, wherever you do to get your inspiration. A lot of Slimming World content out there, and certainly if you guys know of any channels that I should be following, then pop them down below. If you have a look at my who I'm following, I follow quite a lot of the Slimming World content type people that I find, so have a little look through there, see if you can get a little bit of inspiration. But also some non-Slimming World content as well. Like I follow, for example, like Bored of Lunch, and he does quite a lot of recipes, and I think about how I could maybe modify them for Slimming World. Some can't be modified, some you just think, oh, that'd be nice. But there are quite a lot that you think, okay, how can I make that Slimming World friendly? So getting a bit of new inspiration, trying to cook something new. One of the other things that I've said quite a few times this past week is get out the house. Walk around the block, walk down the road, wherever it's safe to do so. Just try and get out your house, because sometimes you're sat there with that temptation in your kitchen cupboard just next to you and you're thinking, oh, I can hear that chocolate calling to me. get out the house if you can, if it's safe to do so, all the rest of it. And, you know, try and do something for yourself, whether it's taking the kids for a walk, whether it's just going out for a walk yourself, the dog, whoever it is, going out with your partner, whatever, and just have a little wander around, because A, you're getting a little bit more activity, and B, you're away from what you were originally intending to eat, possibly. My last and final tip, instead of doing a food diary, I challenge you to maybe do a food vlog. Now, you don't have to upload it, although I love to see what I eat in a day, so if anyone wants to upload that sort of stuff and tag me in it, that's brilliant. But sometimes you write down your food diary, and they're really quite little, them food diaries that they give you, let's be honest. Fitting everything that you've had in there is a bit of a struggle bus at times. But taking a picture of everything that goes in your mouth, that's everything. The only thing I don't take pictures of is when I'm drinking water or juice. I drink plenty of water, about 3.5 litres a day, and that is one thing that I am really good at. I think this is my 4th today, so, you know, plenty of water. There is one food item that I don't take a picture of all the time, and that is mainly because this sits in my cart, which is chewing gum. I also don't usually buy it like this. I usually buy the like bars ones, but this was what is in the cupboard. Now this is 46 pieces. It's still pretty full, way over half full, and I've had it since Christmas. And so 5 pellets of this is half a sin, and I have them one at a time, and very rarely, not even once a day. So that's the only exclusion I have to filming what I put in my mouth, and mainly because this happens in the car when I'm driving occasionally. So I don't have it every day, like I say. I bet there's still maybe 30 capsules in there, so I've had 16 over 3 months, so not a lot. But yeah, that is the only thing that's excluded. But it really makes you think of something. So a lot of the time people will say, I've been 100% on plan, you know, I've been following everything. And I'm not saying that people haven't. There is fluctuations in people's weight, you know, there's water weight and things like that to consider if you've been doing a bit more at the gym, if you've been putting on a little bit of muscle, all that sort of stuff. However, did you actually record every single thing? Were you really on plan for everything? That'd be my challenge, to video it, and you can just create it on TikTok. You don't have to upload it, but you can put it into your drafts, or you can just make a little video of it on your camera roll, and have a look back at it at the end of the day, the end of the week, add everything up. Because A, it lets you see, okay, how was my appetite over the week? Is there days that I'm more likely to be picky, or days that I'm eating bigger volumes, or like what do my days look like? Because we all have different activities on different days. I know for me, Tuesday, I sort of get home from work, quick turnaround, and I'm straight back out because I have volunteering activities. And sometimes I end up getting home and it's quite late, and I only really thought much about that when I started looking back at my videos. The other thing that helps is, you'll see on some of my videos when I go downstairs the last thing on the night to let my little doggy out, that sometimes I end up with a bit of chocolate. And there's probably been plenty of times when I know that I didn't want to film having some chocolate, and so I didn't have any. It's not that I just didn't add it on, I just didn't have any, because I'm quite honest with what I eat. You'll see that when I have bad times, I just upload it anyway. And I've just thought, I don't want to have chocolate again, so just don't have it. However, I know that if I want filming that would be in my mouth, and it wouldn't be written down on any type of, you know, Sin's diary or anything like that. It just disappeared, especially because it's not necessarily high sin. I think I'd have forgotten about it, because usually I'm in motion, I'm walking down the stairs, then I'm back up the stairs, and that wrapper had probably been taken off in the kitchen while I was watching the dog and gone, you know. So it's really thinking about every single thing that you're having. So yeah, hopefully that's helpful to a few people. Like I say, definitely go back and have a look at the other video as well, because that had some really good tips on there. And yeah, pop something in the comments if you've got any support or advice or tips that you think should be added. See you then. Bye.